I feel much better. Thank you so much. That is so sweet of you to ask. I feel so much better. Yay. Yay. I know I was a couple minutes late. I'm sorry to be a few minutes late. Oh, it has been, and you can see just the no makeup day. You have, it has been a whirlwind. These last 24 hours has just been bananas. But yes, I feel great. Thank you. I don't know exactly what happened. I just started to feel kind of headachy and nauseous and just really, really tired. And you know something is wrong if I am skipping out on Cupcake Quest. Now, those of you who don't know, and probably most of you don't, there is a group of women that belong to my synagogue, and we do, and everyone is welcome, really. And the theme park, Disney theme park hotels do seasonal cupcakes, and they're amazing and delicious and incredible concoctions and so creative. And so there's a group of us that we go on Cupcake Quest, and we do it a couple times a year, usually in October, November, and December. And we go to the hotels. We meet at Disney Springs. We hit the gluten-free bakery first because one of our group is gluten-free, and then we go to nope, no vaccinations. I think I know what happened, but I tell you about that. So we went, and so we go to all the hotels, and so we meet at Disney Springs, and by the end of the day, we have ridden the monorail, the boats, the bus, if there's a train. And then we have gone to probably 4 or 5 different hotels. We've all got our steps in. Everybody has purchased 1 or so cupcakes, and we split the cupcakes into many pieces, however many people there are, and we all get to taste the cupcakes. And so nobody spends a lot of money, nobody eats too much sugar. We all have an amazing thing. And of course, we judge the cupcakes, very judgy. We judge the cupcakes, but it's a blast. And so I've got to not be feeling well if I missed October Cupcake Quest. So here's what I think had happened. On Saturday, I went to a wonderful workshop for these gentlemen from Utah that are coaches to help people build their businesses. The event was put on by 2 very dear friends who are Mary Kay directors, sales directors, and so it was a heavily Mary Kay event, but it wasn't an official Mary Kay event. And anytime I'm in a room with a whole lot of people for a long period of time, you start to absorb the energies of those people around you. And I think that made me very tired and a little bit icky because I probably picked up there was a lot of processing. This was a really neat workshop, and I was so excited to see so much metaphysical stuff and so much of the things that I teach being shared in this workshop by these gentlemen and being shared with the Mary Kay community, at least here in Central Florida. So I had a marvelous time, but it was really exciting to see all the to see this information that I teach being shared into a different community. So that was really great. But in the process, a lot of people processing a lot of stuff. And I think by the end of the day, I just had a lot of other people's ick on me. And so I started to get this headache. I started to get this nauseousness, this kind of icky feeling. And so I skipped out on my shift at the park protecting the manatees. So I got to not feel good. On Sunday afternoon, I was supposed to be in the kayak to protect the manatees. Thankfully, they had some other people. And then Monday, I skipped out on the cupcakes. So, it's got to be bad. I missed manatees and cupcakes, 2 of my favorite things. But happily, lots of good selenite, lots of good, walk, some great yoga, and some really good, rest and hydration and, feeling much better. So I have to tell you the last 24 hours, because as you can see, it is a no makeup Monday, and yay, this is what you get. And hey, not bad for almost 56 years old. So I'm okay. But so yesterday, on Saturday night, I got a panicked email from the director of the Church of Spiritual Awakening, which is the spiritualist church in Kissimmee. Our guy that was supposed to do the messages and the mediumship and all the stuff for the service, was supposed to do the service on Sunday morning, is ill. Is there any way you can step in? Of course, of course. So Sunday morning I did the church messages. I did the church talk. Got to tell them about my rental car story, which if you were here last week, you got to hear my crazy rental car story. So that was really fun to share. And that went really well. And then on later in the afternoon, there was Soul Journey Sundays, which I was not supposed to participate in because, I'll always advertise it if thank you, Kimmy. If I am, and they're like, we need you, can you please do messages for that? So ended up to be this crazy day yesterday. At the same time, our air conditioning technician was here today for our annual tune-up. The driveway is getting resurfaced and the walkway up to my house, so I can't get out of my house right now. And we were working in the yard trying to do things to help with, whatever he needed. And so that's taken 2 days. And then my 90-year-old cousins from Ohio who come in winter for 3 weeks in Ormond Beach came for yesterday afternoon. So it has been just like this, all over the place. Thank you, Chris, for posting the rental car story. And if you haven't heard the rental car story, you should definitely read the blog post that Chris just posted on Facebook. It is also posted on Instagram and LinkedIn, and it's on my website and my blog. It is hilarious. So anyway, it has been a crazy story of 24 hours of just running around the house doing all these different things. And so you get the au naturel every once in a while because, it's important to know that I am a real person who works in my garden and chases a cat out of the concrete. So we do have a few little paw prints in the concrete, but I won't tell you where, and you'll have to look really hard to find them. So that's my story. So I'm very happy to be back with you. I'm sorry that I was not able to be with you last week. Thank you all for your wishes and good wishes and all of that. And hopefully you all did something amazing this weekend. Here in Central Florida, we had an incredible turnout for the No Kings event, and we had a beautiful Pride Shabbat on Friday night, and was honored to represent my synagogue and to have a reading, and we had the Pride Parade on Saturday afternoon as well. So it's been a very, very busy few days, and that is very exciting. And it is so wonderful any time that people can come together in joy and peace and love and celebration of the wonder and diversity that we are. I am also excited to share a couple of things with you that are coming up. I have been invited to be interviewed by a metaphysical magazine here in Central Florida, and so that was that's so great at Castleberry, and my sister went to Claremont, so there was all kinds of stuff happening around in Central Florida, even just in Central Florida. It's really amazing. So I have been invited to participate in a really interesting interview with a metaphysical magazine, and I will be very excited once that interview is, Brenda Ferrandis, I love your face. Mwah. You are too. I wish we could see each other. I miss you. But I will be very excited to share that interview once that is available. I want to share with you that we are moving forward with our podcast. And I haven't really talked a lot about that, but this is a grief education podcast that I'm excited about that should be starting in December on Tuesday afternoons. So you'll be able to get me Monday afternoons and Tuesday afternoons. It will be broadcast in a myriad of places, including on Facebook on their channel that is producing it, and Spotify and iTunes and all the different places. So that's going to be something that's coming up in December. I am teaching for the Journey Within Spiritualist Church in New Jersey. I'm teaching 2 classes coming up. There is the beginning psychic development class that I've been asked to teach. I'm very excited about that. So if you have been thinking, I maybe have some psychic stuff, I'd like to know more about that, be on the lookout for when the flyer comes out for that, because that's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to that. And that's going to be in January, so it's a little bit of an early heads up on that one. And then in November, I'm teaching the business for metaphysical light workers, the business class for the Journey Within Church. I have taught that for them before a couple of times. They had asked me to expand it, so I'm very excited to be able to bring that back. They asked me to bring it back before. It's nice to do that at the end of the year, so that if you are someone who's thinking about starting your business as a light worker, healer, reader, something, or even just any kind of a small business, this is really fantastic. This is really fantastic. I'll talk about that in a second. This is really fantastic to be able to really learn about how to build your business in the small business world. So the Infinite Possibilities class continues. I think we have one more. I think this is the last week. And we have been having a lot of fun with that. And I'm sorry, when the class sells out, the class sells out. And I apologize, because there was 2 other people who said to me, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed it." And so don't worry, we will do the Infinite Possibilities class again. But I think it's important to learn that when Sherry is offering classes, you should get in there quickly, because that's what happens. So, all right. So I do want to share something with you that came across my desk that I thought was so really interesting. And let me find this email, because I really do want to share this with you. This is from the Heart Math Institute. Now, I love the Heart Math Institute. I am actually certified in a bunch of their work in their trauma processing as well. I forget exactly what it's called, but I have the certificate hanging on my wall. And really, it was a great really a terrific class, really very intense class and very involved. Your schedule was tight, so couldn't make it. I totally get that. We'll do it again. I promise. I have that idea for business. Scott, if you want to bounce ideas off me, I'm so happy to help however I can. If you want to shoot me a message, that's totally fine. I am so happy to help. I mean, that's the whole point of the classes. I am so honored to be invited by the churches to teach. I don't make, a lot of money. I don't make any money from the church in Kissimmee. They just don't. They're too little. They just don't have the funds to do that, and that's fine. So let me clarify. When we do the classes, we do for both churches. I do the classes as fundraisers. Okay, so the whole idea is it's for a fundraiser for the church. So I'm hoping that the church in Kissimmee will be ready to do some of these classes as well. They've asked me about it, but I think they're kind of figuring it out. But when I do the Sunday services, there's no money. That's just a love part of showing up as somebody who can serve and wants to serve, and that's just part of being a light worker, and giving back. And when I do the classes for the church in New Jersey, it is a fundraiser for the church, and we split the money, so that's kind of a cool thing. When it's the classes that are for me, then that money goes to me. We always do some kind of donation to charity, depending, and then we also have people who work for us. My neighbors have a giant German Shepherd named Max. Stop, he would eat you for lunch. Stop. Chihuahua bark. Everybody knows Bo? Everybody knows Bo? Yes, Bo. Yes, Bo. Yes, you're very growly. Yes, you're very growly. Come here, show everybody how handsome you are. You're very growly. All right. So, okay. So the churches, we share the money. That's a good thing. All right. So, I want to share this thing with you about heart math. So I have, like I said, have the heart math certifications as well, which is amazing. If you haven't taken any classes with heart math, it's something, if you have the opportunity, they do a lot of free stuff. They do a lot of videos that you can just look at. And heart math is such a great organization that studies the vibration and the energy signature of our heart as we are in reaction to each other and in cohesion with each other. And so this came into my email after the weekend, right? And so this was really wonderful. They're talking about maintaining our higher vibration, okay? So when we have time that we spend time doing things we love, whether that's, working in the garden or being with the manatees or marching in parades and waving gloriously colored flags or whatever it is, that is the thing that is yeah, that too. Whatever it is, that thing that lights you up inside, that helps you to really feel like Yeah, right? That's where we raise our vibration. We raise our vibration in the things that get us excited, get us passionate, get us joyful, get us being jazzed up, okay? Those are the things that raise our vibration. And so what Heart Math is talking about is how do we maintain the higher vibration when we come back from a workshop, a coaching call, and a weekend retreat, a parade, a whatever. How do we maintain that higher vibration, right? With all the stuff that's going on. And boy, you can just get inundated any day of the week. Just spend 5 minutes. It's just like, and you can watch your vibration just go, right? And none of us needs that. So it is a conscious thing that's really important that we are taking the time to really be conscious of where our vibration is and holding it at a higher place, because that's conscious, okay? We're not victims of the vibration. We're not solely reactionary. We are curators of our energy vibration. It's really important that we understand that. So this talks about maintaining the higher vibration of love is also related to how much we are practicing neutralizing our judgments on ourselves, on others, practicing compassionate listening rather than reactive listening, practicing compassion, period, rather than just reacting, right? Forgiving old situations, letting go of the things that we can. We always know that, especially as we're coming in the next couple of days to the new moon. This is the Libra new moon, I believe, is tomorrow, and that we are having this opportunity that managing our energy vibration is a conscious choice. It's an intelligence that we have as a higher being, right? So forgiveness especially becomes important in these times that can be so fractured, where we can have blame and separation and all this kind of stuff. So forgiveness becomes more possible when we are increasing that heart energy and we're increasing our heart coherence, okay? And this is one of the big things that Heart Math teaches, is about heart coherence. When we are in the the frog costumes, I love all the frog costumes. And we saw unicorns and all kinds of stuff. I saw a bullseye from Toy Story. I saw a bullseye. That was hilarious. Okay, so heart coherence is one of the things that Heart Math teaches a lot. And that's about having our heart energy, because there's a lot of science to suggest that the heart has its own brain, its own intelligence that's separated from our physical brain that's in our head. Okay, so the brain has control over the body, but because the heart is autonomic and it just beats on its own, there are so many places where there's evidence to suggest that the heart has its own intelligence, that it kind of does its own thing. So it's really interesting that we can connect with the heart energy. We can connect with the heart, not just the emotions of love, but that energy of love. You know, the vibration of love is like way up high on the scale, you know, where you have sadness and anger and jealousy is very low vibration. Love is such a high vibration that when we can stay in that place of heart coherence, knowing that whatever's going on, we can say, okay, I need to bring this back into my heart, because we can get very frustrated, angry, annoyed, just short, right, with other situations or people, and we say, okay, wait, no, I need to bring this back to my heart. And we just stop for a second, and you can put your hands in your heart area, and just to say, in that heart space, to say, I'm breathing into my heart. I'm breathing in love for myself. I'm breathing in love for the situation. I don't have to like the situation. I'm breathing in love for the situation. I'm breathing in love for the other people that are in the situation. Okay? And now I'm going to share that love, and I'm going to see that energy vibration expand so that the situation is now enveloped in that love. The people involved are enveloped in that love. Okay? And that is one of the things that is really, really important, that says, let's see, let me unhide this comment for some reason. It was, okay. I've been seeing signs from the various gatherings said you can't spell hatred without red hats. Okay. So we can laugh, absolutely, but we want to make sure where we're holding that vibration. And so we say, okay, I have love for the people who are maybe a bit confused and wearing a hat, or some people are going to think the people wearing the unicorn costumes are a little confused, and that's okay. We can still have love for those people. We can still have love for those people. And so we hold that love and we bring that energy into our hearts. And so this is where I suggest for you, because we do have the new moon tomorrow, okay? And that we have this opportunity to say, when I feel frustration, anger, annoyance, resentment, judgment, what have you, stop, take this breath, and really breathe into the heart space that says, I am okay, I love me, I am loved from others, from the spirit world. I am loved. I am a divine spark of light and love. I exist because I am a divine spark of light and love. I would not exist. You would not exist. We are all here because we are sparks of divine light and love, okay? And because we are sparks of divine light and love, we are loved. We are made from love, okay? And we can take that love in and just allow that to fill up the heart space and really expand that out, fill that up. Say, okay, I'm loved. I'm love. Not just I am loved, but I am love. I am made of love. The universe runs on love. We know this. That is the engine of the universe is the energy of love, okay? Which means we are all made of love. Regardless of your mood, you are still made of love, okay? And then you can take that and expand that out to the people wearing red hats and the people wearing blue hats and the people wearing unicorns and the people wearing, all the things, okay? I did also, there was one gorilla guy I thought was really funny. So we can send that love out to all the places and really have that connection and really to be filled with gratitude and love that we can celebrate that energy of love. This is something that we have, that we can control, that we can literally turn up the volume, that we can expand it like a bubble, and we can send it like a telegram to others as well. This is something that we can actually control. And when you send it, I always think about it, seriously, I know it's ridiculous, but I always think about it like little Cupid arrows. And I'm going to send that love energy. I filled up my heart, my love energy, and I'm going to send it to somebody. It's like a little Cupid arrow that's going, okay? And that's how we send love, well, for me, that's how we send the love energy, however it works for you. But what happens when we can remember all animal costumes lives matter? That's so true. What happens when we can remember that we are made from love? We are of love. This is it. This is love, okay? It might not be wearing makeup today. That's okay. It's still love, okay? We are made of love. We come from love, okay? And we have the ability to amplify love. And more importantly, we have the ability to share love. That is some powerful stuff right there. I mean, it really is. When we have this opportunity to say, wait a minute, I can be in control of not only the emotions that I'm feeling and the emotions that I'm sharing or sending to other people, but this is an actual energy pattern. And if you've ever looked at somebody across a room, let's say you were at a party or a dinner party or something or a date and it was going really well and you're like totally making Google eyes at that person, they might be across the room, and you catch their eye and it's like, and you get all the googly feels. That's love, that you have sent or been sent that energy, and even just acting it out, I feel it, okay? Because we have the ability to control and share and amplify this energy. And imagine how powerful that is when we can say, I'm going to choose this, and I'm going to choose to amplify this, and I'm going to choose to go, boom, and I'm going to send that to somebody who needs it, or who doesn't, or somebody I just want to. Okay? And we can do that in a text, we can do that in an email, a phone call, a look, a hug, a just cuz. I love these companies where you can send cookies. I don't know if you know about these cookies, like sprinkle cookies, but there's another one, Cheryl's cookies, that are really good and a little less expensive than crumbles. And you can send cookies. And imagine what happens when somebody gets cookies in the mail. Okay? There's so many different ways, and you don't have to spend money. Okay? But it's amazing to be able to say, to understand that we have control over something that is so powerful that we can expand it, contract it, turn the volume up, turn the volume down, we can, and send it and share it as we choose. This is an incredibly powerful place to be. And so this is the thing that came on when I read this. I was like, oh my gosh, we need to talk about this today, because we are coming off of, whatever your beliefs are, and a weekend that was hopefully filled with love. Now, I know you can't hear it right now, but 85-pound dog is snoring like a truck down there. So, Stephen has a tremendously successful business. So, he is giving, he's, a great person to get advice from as well. So, this is something that is so important for us to talk about. And as we are coming off of a weekend of a lot of energy, right? A lot of energy. It is our responsibility, just as it is your responsibility to wash your face and brush your teeth and put on clean underwear and all that kind of stuff. That is part of your self-care. This is also part of your self-care. This is energy maintenance, and it's a really important part of your self-care. And that is to open your heart, to check in with that vibration, to own that vibration. And the place that we start is by closing our eyes, bringing our hands to the heart center, and we breathe in. I am a divine spark of light and love. I am made from love. I am of love, in love, made from love, sending love, all the things. Pick a verb, okay? And just allow that feeling to remind you how awesome you are. And you fill that up. And then you can grow it. And you say, I want to see this bubble of my heart love expanding, 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 however far you want to go. And now put that energy to good use. Okay? Send that, share that, wrap that, okay? And especially to the people who maybe don't agree with all the things that you agree with. Because one of the things that we can do as light workers, and even if you're not working in the metaphysical world, if you're here and you're paying attention to me or people like me, you're a light worker. You're somebody who is absorbing the light, who wants to use the light, share the light, be part of this kind of a community because you want to share this with other people, okay? And so you're a light worker. If you're here, you're part of it. So when you can realize the strength and the power that we have, we want to use that for good. We want to use that power for good. But we have an obligation to serve, to be part of a light-bringing community, to expand that light. And it is our responsibility, our energy maintenance is the same as our physical body maintenance. Brush your teeth, wash your face, eat good things, get some vegetables, drink a lot of water. All those things are really important. Hygiene, energy hygiene is no different. Okay, so this is a place where we're really talking about the energy hygiene of the heart. And what's so fantastic about this is that we have so much control. And where I talk to people every day, they're constantly feeling like they're like a pinball, where they're just getting bounced around by all the stuff that's happening. And so this should remind you, hopefully, that you are not the pinball. You are the one in control. This is, wait, I'm getting bounced around by the pinball. Let me hold on for a second. Let me come back and let me bring in my light energy and let me lift this and let me expand this and let me grow this and strengthen this and let me now bring it out. We have so much more power, but we are responsible for that, okay? So it is up to you how you are using your light energy. It is really important that you are being in charge of your light energy, okay? And your heart energy. Okay. All right. This is a very interesting conversation that Scott and Stephen are having over there, really. All right, let's check out, I like to start with Kyle Gray's Archangel cards, just to see who's hanging out with us, right? I just want to see who's hanging out with us, because it's always so great. We like to do the channeled information, whatever it is that Spirit is calling me to share in this day. I like to do that stuff first so that we can let the cards listen into the conversations, because that they're just little eavesdroppers, and they come in and provide us with cards that are confirming what we have just discussed. So this is the Oracle, Archangel's Oracle, and this is This is Jeremiel, and I don't know if you can say it. It says personal responsibility. That's literally what it says, is personal responsibility. It says take responsibility for your choices. This is an opportunity for inner growth. I am not making it up. I am seriously, you cannot make this stuff up. This is why we do channel information first, and then we do the cards afterwards, because the cards will come in and confirm what has been channeled, because they're listening and they are talking about, they are wanting to help guide us with the things that are going on, and they are paying attention. Don't ever for 1 second think that they're not paying attention to you. If you think for 1 second that your angels, guides, loved ones, spirit animals, what all of it are not paying attention, please go back and read my story about the rental car in New Jersey last month, because that was just one of the craziest things that has ever happened to me, to be pulled over by a police officer who could impound the car that I had told Spirit I didn't want to be in anymore. I mean, hello. I asked for that in the nighttime before I went to bed, in the evening, and when I got in the car in the next morning, and I got in the car, I did not even drive 1/4 of a mile. I didn't even drive, it was only less than 1/4 of a mile to get where I was going. I didn't even get that far and got pulled over. So if you think for 1 second, and that was the only other way they could have gotten me out of that car was if they'd have just disappeared while I was asleep. So if you think for 1 second that spirit, angels, loved ones, guides, all the people, all the entities, all the things are not paying attention, then you are not paying attention, my friends, because they truly are listening all the time and helping where we will invite them. And this is a big thing, because they will help where we will invite them. They will help where we will invite them, because a lot of those energies cannot get involved unless we ask. So I wasn't expecting to get pulled over by a police officer, but he couldn't have been nicer, thankfully. And to be able to, we all get frustrated with our angels and our spirit team, because sometimes they are very instantaneous and other times they are slow. But it's not that they are lazy, and it's not that they are not doing nothing. Okay, sometimes they have to do other things to get other things out of the way in order to clear a path for us to be able to go forward. And sometimes we are the ones that are like backfilling with crap the path that they're working hard to clear. So that's just something to look at as well. Because I get when people say to me, I'm frustrated with my angels and my guides and they're not helping, they're not doing anything. I'm like, well, what are you doing? Are you like, see those silly scenes in the movie where the person is packing to leave and I'm leaving, I'm packing up my stuff, and the other person's like, no, you're not, and they're unpacking and putting their stuff away. So if spirit is trying to pack our stuff so we can go, and we're in there going, no, I want to stay because I want it to look like I want it to look, we're working against them. So it is one of those things that we want to look at and say, well, is this actually what I want? And am I cooperating, or am I being stubborn? Guilty, okay? Or am I not paying attention? Am I not listening to what it is they're trying to show me or say, or any of those things? Guilty, right? Guilty. So it's important that when we have those when we have those times that we say it is absolutely a team effort, when we ask spirit, it is important that we are trusting that they are working on it. That we are trusting that it might take time for them to move some other stuff out of the way. I will tell people who are frustrated that it's also very important that you are clear about what you want. The universe does not work really well at all with ambiguity. It's important that you are clear with what you ask for. And this is one of the things in my Unspooling Your DNA class, which is available on my website, that walks you through several different things, including a ritual where you can get clear about what it is you want, and you can put it out to the universe in a really clear and concise way, and trust that you've done that in a way that the universe is going to receive it, and then you can let it go and let the universe move the wheel. Okay, so that's something, if you're having some problems, if you're feeling like you're stuck, you might check that out as well. And I'm sure Chris, because she is so on the spot, will pop up that link for that class for you as well. My goodness, very dehydrated. Here's something, as we get into cooler weather, please make sure you are continuing to drink a lot of water. Hydration is super important, even if you're not getting all sweaty, okay? All right, let's pull some cards for the collective, and let's see what's going on with the world at large. God bless you. Gesundheit. Or Gesundheit, as my grandmother would say. The DNA class. The DNA class. Would you be kind enough to post the link for the DNA class? Okay, so that is the wrong deck. Wrong deck. Sorry. My cards got confused. All right. Gesundheit, Chris. All right. Like my grandmother would say, Zeigazint. So what's going on in the universe for the collective that we all need to know about? And this is, oh, I love this. This is simplicity. So simplicity. Now this card did come in upside down, so you can see that it's just a matter of letting things get put into the right order. But this is also card 45. Okay, so 4 and 5 is 9. This says, listen, you may be coming to the end of one chapter and that you're getting ready to start building something else. Now, if you've ever seen these little rock towers, they're fascinating things and they're really zen to try and do, right? So but when I see these things, I never see just one, okay? I always see multiples where people will put in multiples of these and they'll like build one and then they'll, build another and build another. And what happens is it's an invitation for others to participate, of course. So here we have this card of simplicity that's upside down that says, listen, we're coming into this new moon. It is a 9 card. 4 and 5 is 9. This is a 9 card. It says we're coming to the end of this cycle. This is coming into the new moon in Libra. Well, this is an opportunity for us to balance. The rocks are balanced, okay? Balanced, and to stop making things so complicated, getting clear about what it is we want so that we can go forward in a way that is balanced for us, that is alignment. Balance is another word of alignment, okay? So we are being aligned. Now this card coming in upside down says, hey, listen, remember, you don't have to make it so complicated. You don't have to be the one that's backfilling when the universe is trying to dig it out for you, okay? So we don't have to make it so complicated. So this card comes in upside down, simplicity. It says, listen, we do one rock on top of the other, on top of the other. We don't have to make things so complicated. And as this is a 9, allow things to come to their natural completion. Don't try to hold on to something longer than it's meant to be around. Let things come to their natural completion. Is this something I need in my life, or is it just another thing that's going to sit on a shelf, whether it's physical or literal or whatever, metaphorical? Is this something that I need in my life, or is this something that's going to sit on the metaphorical or physical shelf? Okay, keep it simple. Okay, so this is this reminder as we're coming to the end of the year, we're coming into this next moon cycle. We don't have to overcomplicate things. Okay. All right, so the next card, what else do we need to know about this situation? And this is card 50, which is very interesting because we have 45 now, this is 50, and this is truth. This is the light of truth, okay? And so the light of truth reminds us to trust, okay? Now, we don't have to like the truth, but we can trust that we are being shown the truth, okay? We're being shown the truth if we feel it in our hearts. We're being shown the truth if we're getting it from spirit. We don't necessarily have to believe that we're getting the truth always from another human being, because humans are fallible and have their own agendas. But this is truth, okay? And this is, listen, it's up to us to look for the truth. And there's also a way to see this card as, if you look really close, as if she's speaking the truth, right? It's not necessarily how it's painted, but it's a way to look at this card to see that she's speaking the truth. And there's also a way to look at this card as if this cloud fixture up over here in this side is as if spirit is reaching back to her, right? As if spirit is reaching back to her, okay? But she's also holding the truth, which means we're responsible for that. We're responsible for our own truth. We're responsible for the truth that we share or don't share with others. And then we're responsible for what we receive back and how we process that, okay? Does it feel truthful in our own bodies to use that discernment that we have? Okay, and the idea of Occam's razor, right? The simplest answer is usually the right one. Okay, and keeping that simple. So, but this is again about personal responsibility. It's up to us to seek truth, to speak truth, to hold truth, and then also to listen, to receive it coming back. Okay, so there's a lot that's going on in there, right? And this is a 50 card, so again, showing us moving forward, 45 to 50, right? And 5 tells us that we're not, quite there. Even though we just had the 9 card, which is the end of a journey, but here's 5, that is, okay, we're at a crossroads, or at a halfway point of the next journey. Understand that we can be on more than one journey at a time, okay? We can be on a journey of self-discovery, we can be on a journey for a new relationship, we can be on a journey for health and wellness, we can be on multiple different journeys at a time. So just because you're seeing different numbers doesn't mean that you're like going backwards and, oh my gosh, what's going on, okay? All right, so where are the places we might get, tripped up with all of this information right now? And this is 32. This one's right side up. This is the light, okay? This is a reminder that says we're going to get tripped up if we're not staying in the light. Because if you look at this card, she is smack in the center of the light, right? She's right in it. She's swinging. Her arms are up. Okay, I don't know if you've been on a swing in a while, but sometimes we are closed in like this when we're holding the swing. And she's like, nope, I am open. Because what happens when you open your arms, and I teach this in my Unspooling Your DNA class as well, because it's about energy. When you put your arms up and out, I don't know about you, but I immediately feel it all in through here. The energy shifts. Okay, it's the energy shifts. If you just put your arms right here, the energy is closed. But if you put your arms up like you scored a field goal, there's one kind of energy. But if you open your arms out, there's a very different kind of energy flow. And it's up to us to be personal responsibility, open, okay, open, staying in the light. And she is literally smack dab in the light, and she's swinging, which means she's going with the flow, which means she's keeping it simple, and she's allowing things to flow. She's allowing things to go a little forward, come a little backwards, right? Even if we're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back, that is still 1 step forward. We're still going forward, okay? So we're having this opportunity that says, listen, allow things to go, which means that we want to not hold on to the control. Simple. Keep it simple. I put the rock on top of the other rock and I let it go. I trust that it's going to stay there, okay? So we are keeping things simple. We don't have to control everything, right? Being in the swing, in the flow, means that when we put that request out to the universe, it says, I'd like to not be in this rental car. I'm very upset. I don't want to be in this rental car. And when the universe sends police to pull you over, you don't get pissed off and say, why did the police pull me over? You can recognize in the moment the humor of the situation that says, aha, the universe sent police to pull me over to get me out of the car. Okay, so we can understand that we don't have to control. Is that how I thought it was going to play out? No, that's not how I thought it was going to play out. That's not what I requested. That's not what but that's how it played out, because that was the universe's best way to handle that situation. Because you know what? They know more than we do. And so we trust and we stay in the flow and we allow things to go, to move forward, to go backwards, to change our minds, to shift in a different way. We allow it to flow. We're not held back. She's not tethered. She doesn't have a little safety cord over here. She's just allowing. And she may not even be swinging. She may just be enjoying the view. Okay, so this reminds us to let go of control, that it's not necessarily going to look exactly like the way we've imagined in our minds, and that's okay, because when we can allow the universe to do this or something more, we give them more space to play and to help and to support us in a better way than what we could see for ourselves. Okay, now is the time. Now is the time. If you would like to have a card for yourself, go ahead and put it in the comments. Remember, you've got to ask me so I have permission to come into your energy. Please do only put your request in one time. Even if you don't see it, just remember that I can see it. And if you put it in more than once, you bump other people out of the way, and we will go in the order of the comments that I see them, which might not be the same as the way you see them, okay? All right. All right, we see Sharon and we see Stephen. All right, so lots of comments, okay. So Scott, I will say, because I see Chris and Stephen both working with you, I know Stephen does not do this kind of, to my knowledge, doesn't do business coaching work. However, Chris is a dang genius, and so I would strongly encourage you to pick her brain and talk to her about how she would be able to help you in your business as well. She has done wonders. Truly, she's a marvel and an exceptional human being. Okay, I see Instagram. I see we're going to start over here on Facebook. We've got Sharon, and then we've got Stephen and Kimmy. So Sharon, this is compassion. This is card 12. So this is card 12. So 1 and 2 is 3. We know there's more to the story. And this is very interesting because this is, I suppose it's supposed to be a wolf. It looks like a dog. But I love this because I know we've been talking about a sick pup for you. And so this hopefully is telling us that your pup is doing better. But this is all about compassion. Now, this is not not just compassion for the pet, but this is compassion for yourself as well, because we know that dogs give us, especially, and cat dogs, they give us back as much as we are giving them, even more so they give back. So this is also talking about compassion for yourself, Sharon, okay? And so again, this is the 1 and 2 makes 3, which tells us there's more to the story, but this is a reminder for you to be very kind to yourself as well, okay? So hopefully that your pup is doing better. I know we have talked a little bit about that, so I'm really hoping that your baby is on the mend. All right, Stephen. So this is interesting. This is card 24, which is 6, but this is fulfillment, okay? This is fulfillment, and look at this. She's picking the apples, and she's got just an abundance of apples. And I love this because I know we've talked about some different things, and it does feel like this may be a confirmation card for you as well. Just enjoying the abundance, enjoying the fruits, literally the fruits of your labors, the fruits of your patience, the fruits of your work to come to this new place that you're in. And so really just to take this as a confirmation card. But you do have the 2 and the 4, and it's interesting because the 2 of course is a paired number and the 4 is the support number, and then you have 2 and 4 make 6, which tells us that things are still coming around in a new direction, right? 6 is one of those sacred geometry numbers where we're coming around again, and how are we going to see this situation now we've been through before? How are we going to see this in a different way? Okay, so this is reminding you not to lean into old patterns, not to make the same mistakes again, but to allow yourself that higher perspective that you're coming around. Think about it like a spiral staircase, that you're coming around again, yes, but you're seeing it from a higher perspective, from a different point of view. So hopefully that is going to make sense for you. Sharon says the pup is fine, getting into trouble, but compassion. Okay, fantastic. Okay. You're welcome, Chris Judd. I speak the truth. All right. We go back. Where were we? Kimmy Smith, and then I've got Tracy, and then we'll come over to Instagram. So we've got Kimmy and Tracy, and then we'll go to Instagram, and we'll come back to Facebook. So Kimmy, this card's upside down. This is 44. This is silence. And so Kimmy, this is 44. So this is really reminding you. And this card was upside down. Okay, so 4 and 4 is 8, which of course is the infinity number that reminds us that we have more time. We don't have to rush. We have time. Okay, that time is infinite, and then we have all of these things. But 4 is the support number, right? Remember, 4 legs of the chair or the table that are supporting us. Okay, but do you have this 4 and 4? This is, hey, we really have got a hold of you, Kimmy, because it seems like you're trying to go it alone. Okay, that you are trying to barrel through and push through whatever it is that you're working on, that you're trying to do this by yourself, because here is this beautiful swan on this icy cold lake all by himself, and we know the swan's mate for life, and he is trying to go it alone, although there are some butterflies in there that are trying to say, hey, we're spirit, we're here with you, we're angels and guides and loved ones, and we're trying to work with you. So Kimmy, this card really reminds you to get quiet, maybe practice that heart coherence that we talked about, and really allow yourself to ask for guidance, receive guidance, and to ask and receive collaboration, okay? Because this card coming in upside down, it says, hey, you're not listening. And the butterflies here are saying, we're here, we're around you. Can you see the butterflies? We're here, we're around you, and we're really trying to get your attention. And so, Kimmy, this is talking about, we'd like for you to just slow it down, okay? And to know that you don't have to do it all yourself. Okay? All right, we're going to do Tracy. And Chris, Stephen says, trying to do that when working for years, so let the spirit guide my path. So a lot of validation. Excellent. All right, Tracy. And then we've got Brenda on Instagram. This card also comes in upside down. And this is the healing card, and this is 27. So 2 and 7 is 9. Okay, so Tracy, this is coming in upside down again. So this is 9. It says, hey, listen, it's important that you are still taking responsibility of your physical health, your energetic and mental health, and all of these things. That even though you may be coming to the end of a journey, an end of a cycle, an end of a health journey, it's important that you are holding on to the things that that were working for you, and letting go of the things that weren't, okay? Because this is dancing. They're dancing. Look at these fairies. They're dancing. They're having a whole party that's going on here. And this is saying we want to celebrate. We want to celebrate the end of this journey, but we want to make sure that we're keeping the things that were resonant and working for us and letting go of the things that were not serving us, okay? So Tracy, while you are taking advice from learned people around you, this is saying, listen, it's important that you still maintain some element of control to say, listen, I've got the things that work for me, I'm going to hold on to, and the things that are not working for me, I'm going to let go, and that's okay. Okay, so that you are, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not trying to give health advice, okay? Not that. But what I am saying is that you are still have to be the lobbyist for yourself, okay? And to be in your own, working in your own best interest. Hey, shush. So take the things that work and give yourself permission to step back from the things that don't, okay? So remember that you have more power and control than you think that you do, okay? All right, so, all right, I see Catherine and Belinda is, and next on Facebook, I'm going to jump over to Instagram as I had said, and we're going to get Brenda. My friend Brenda. Okay, so it's interesting. I shuffled, but I got simplicity. So I think we've talked about this, but it didn't, I think maybe didn't shuffle well enough. So I'm going to do that again. So hang on for a second. All right, let's see if we can get some. All right, so this is surrender. This is 48. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is 3. More to the story that meets the eye, but this is surrender, okay? And it comes in right side up, Brenda, and this card is talking about allowing, how we were talking before about the girl on the swing. Just open your heart, open yourself to spirit, allow things to unfold, knowing that you don't have any more control over a lot of these things than the water is controlling how the leaves are going, okay? So we can trust that spirit is always working for our highest and best good, but sometimes that means we have to let go of the reins. Okay, and just allow things to unfold. So I know that is so hard. I mean, it really is. I know that it is. But allow yourself to give into that surrender and to be able to just trust that the universe is carrying you. I mean, truly. Maybe you get pulled over by a cop too. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But just trust that the universe is really trying to get you to trust. Now, here's the thing with trust. The more that we can lean into spirit and the universe and trust that they are really working on our behalf, the more that we will let go, the more they can do. It really is a self-propelling cycle. The more I can trust that spirit is going to do, the more I can let go and say, oh, I got pulled over by a police officer. I'm not mad. They'll be able to be like, I know there's the blessings in there somewhere. The pony is in the horse poop, right? It's in there. I'm trusting it. And that means the more that they can do, which means they took the car, I got my money back. Okay. So the more I can trust them, the more that they can do. So this card, really, this surrender card, is reminding of that. The more that we can trust them, the more they can do. Okay? And it's a team. It's a team. It is. Our loved ones, our angels, our guides, the archangels, the spirit animals, all of it. They're all in there working together for our highest and best good. All right, so let me scroll down. We're going to come back over here. We've got Catherine, Belinda, and Chris. And Tracy, fantastic. You're welcome. You're welcome. Kimmy, you're welcome. Okay, great. All right, Catherine and Belinda and Chris. And so we have leadership. Catherine, leadership. This is card 31. 31 is 4. 3 and 1 is 4. We've talked about 4. We know this number. This is leadership. Catherine, trust that it is time for you to be a lighthouse, okay? It's time for you to be a lighthouse, which means you're shining a light on others, okay? I don't know if anybody has heard of a young woman named Jess Ekstrom. She started a company in college called Headbands for Hope, and it's little headbands that it was one of the original buy one, give one programs. And so for every headband that was purchased, she would donate one to a kid dealing with cancers and illnesses and things like that in a hospital. The business has grown such that she has hospitals all over the world. The headbands are sold online. They're sold in stores, in department stores and boutique stores. And she wrote a book about her whole experience. And she started speaking about her experience and speaking about her book. And she has become a very, very successful, and I mean very successful speaker. She's a new mom. She's got 2 little ones. And she's got a TEDx talk. Also, her name is Jess Ekstrom. And now what she does is she teaches women to be speakers and how to build a speaking career, okay? And what her TEDx talk is about, Catherine, is about the difference between being a lighthouse speaker and being a spotlight speaker, okay? And being a spotlight speaker is, it's all about me, I'm so great, look how great I am, isn't this awesome? But being a spotlight speaker is saying, look how great this other person is, how can I pass the microphone, how can I pass the torch, how can I shine a light on someone else? And so, Catherine, this is what this card is talking about, is how can you shine the light on someone else? This is a leadership card. It is a 4 card. It says, listen, it is okay for you also to loosen the reins, pass the torch, and shine the light on someone else. And know that it is not going to diminish your light or the light that shines on you in the slightest bit. It will do the opposite and amplify the light that shines on you. But it is time for you to trust that you can pass the torch and that you can shine the light on others so that they can go forward and that their light can shine brighter. Both of your lights will shine brighter. All right, Belinda. All right, Belinda, this is abundance. We love that. We love that. It's upside down now. So this card is card number 1, abundance. Now this card, look at all these hot air balloons. But isn't this interesting? Because these are all hot air balloons that seem to be inside. They seem to be inside this little archway. Belinda, what are you holding yourself back from? Okay? Because this card was upside down. Abundance is your birthright, but where are you limiting that? Because see this roof? And you can see this balloon, it just boink, 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 bonked itself on the top of the archway there, and it can't get out. Whereas all these other balloons are outside the archway, and they're all going up. But this one is stuck. So, Belinda, where is it that you are denying yourself or putting a cap on your belief, a cap on your belief in your abilities, a cap on your deserve level, a cap on what is abundant and available to you? And what they're saying is, no, we're going to turn this right side up, and we're going to say you absolutely open it up, and you absolutely have that abundance is available to you. So, Catherine, really think about that as we're coming into this new moon cycle. What is it that you are not believing is possible for yourself? Because you're putting that cap on you're limiting it, okay? You're putting the limit on it. And so, where I like to teach is this or something more, right? And I'm not the only one who teaches this, but this or something more. So whatever it is that you're wanting to ask for right now, this or something more, this or something better. Because remembering, they can see things from a better vantage point than we can, which is why the universe knew that the easiest way to get me out of this car was to use police action. I couldn't just call up the rental car company and go, I don't like this car, I want you to give me a different one. They'd be like, sorry, lady. We'll see you on Sunday. But if there's something with police and legal, I didn't even think about that. That, of course, they have to honor that because it's the freaking police. Okay? So when I said that to them that night in the hotel room, Thursday night, I said, look, help, fix it. This is how I'm seeing it play out. But this or something better, I am open to something better. And they did it in a much better way that I didn't even have to worry about it. I had that Uber ride on Sunday morning back to LaGuardia. It was smooth as butter, and I just relaxed the whole way. I didn't have to drive. Okay, so they worked it out better because I opened that possibility for them. Okay, and so Catherine, where can you offer this or something more to really open that and take that limit off and let Spirit help you? Okay. All right, you're welcome. Yep. Belinda. Yep. Okay. Oh. See, this is why Chris Judd is the most freaking awesome. So those of you who are on Instagram, I really encourage you to come over to Facebook too. Not that Facebook is all that in a bag of chips, but my beloved Chris Judd is posting the links to all these things, and I don't have the ability for her to post them in both places. So we can try and figure that out. But she is posting over here the link to Jess Ekstrom's TEDx talk, the link to the rental car story, and the link to the DNA class as well. So awesome. And so fittingly, the woman whose praises I am singing will be our last. So I'm sorry. I know I was talking to Catherine and Belinda at the same time. I feel like. So my apologies because that last card was for Belinda. But you know what happens is that there's something in it for everybody, truly. So this last card, of course, is going to be for Chris, and then we will finish it up with a card for everybody. So we have Truth, and this card came up before, so we're going to pull another one. This is energy. This is 17 17. So 1 and 7 is 8. Okay, so this is about guarding your energy, but opening again. We see this open posture, open arms, open, because that shifts our energy, facing into the light and allowing. And look how much is coming down from the divine spark of light and love, how much light is focusing right in on her, allowing. Okay, so this is allowing the energy to come into you, allowing others to pour into you, allowing the spirit of divine light and love to pour into you. And this has a lot to do with worthiness. Okay, this has a lot to do. This is 8. 1 and 7 is 8. So it's the infinity number that says, listen, across all forms of time and space, you are worthy. You are a spark of divine light and love for all of us. And this is really a card about worthiness. It says, I dare you to open your arms. This card wasn't even upside down. I dare you to open your arms to receive what abundance and blessing the universe has in store for you. Because this card is saying, I dare you to open and accept it. It's also saying to you, I dare the universe to show me what is possible. Show me what you got, universe. I am open and willing and ready to receive. So this card is a love dare. How about that? All right, so we're going to pull one more card just for the closing it all up for everybody. Okay, and we'll wrap it up, which is good because I think my driveway guy is done. So, all right, so this card is joy. This is for everyone. This is joy. This is 30. And this is the last card. So this is joy. This is for everyone to close it out. This is joy. And I love this card because you can look, you can see the light and the sparkles and the stars shining down, and she is dancing in the streets. Sorry, they just knocked on my door. And so she is dancing in the streets, and look again at her arms. Open, open, open to receive. Open to receive the joy. Open to receive the love. Now, as we're coming into this new moon, this is the challenge I have for you that says, and this is card 30. Okay, so we know 3. There's more to the story, right? There's more to the story that's in there. So this is the challenge for you, for all of us, to say, listen, what is it that we can be more open to as we come into this new moon cycle? I am open. This is the Libra moon, right? That we have the balance. This is the new moon cycle. Say, I am asking for what it is I want, this or something more, this or something better, and I am seeing myself open, keeping myself open for what the universe has as possibilities for us. Right? All right, so we have to leave it there for now, and I appreciate you all being with us, with me this week. Oh, Fatima, sorry, very quickly, beauty. This card is beauty. It's card number 6. It says, to remind you of the beauty that is around you. This is a gratitude card that says, hey, make sure that you're staying in that place of love and gratitude. But it is 6. And if you heard what I said to Stephen before, I think it was Stephen, about seeing things from the higher perspective, that we've come around like a spiral staircase to see it from a different perspective, a higher perspective, that card of beauty. He's saying, listen, I'm looking at all the beautiful, wonderful things around me, but I'm looking at this from a higher perspective. Okay? All right, so I never like to try, if I can, I don't like to miss if somebody has a question. Okay. We will see you next week. As we come into the first week of November, there will be a week we'll skip because I'll be in Mexico, and then we'll be back. So just watch the posts so you'll know where I am and when we are, and I will look forward to being back with you next week. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time together in our community of light, and always, always remember, you are a spark of divine light and love. You are loved. Mwah. See you next week.